Hey there everyone, and welcome to today's workshop. Today you are going to be learning all about how my business generates over 100 leads every single day for free. I'm going to be revealing exactly how our lead generation machine works, how it works on autopilot, and how you can set up something for your own business so that you have more leads than you know what to do with and can start generating a lot more sales. So to start out, I just want to show you this screenshot here of my email list at the moment. As you can see, we're up to almost 100,000 subscribers, which is really exciting. But just like everyone, I started at zero, of course. So back in 2013, I had no email subscribers. But the sad truth is that almost 3 years later, I still had a very, very small list, only about 300 subscribers. Finally, I came up with this strategy that I'm going to be sharing with you today in 2017. And you can notice that right about the time that I implemented this new strategy, my list started to grow like bonkers. So today we're sitting at almost 100,000 subscribers, and it's just been all uphill in the best way possible. Now, you might think you could pay for ads to grow your list. And sometimes that can be a great strategy. But let's just think for a moment how much this might have cost me if I'd done that. I mean, if I'd been paying $1 a lead with Facebook ads, which would have been a great rate, and if my email subscribers had a 12-month retention, which is being pretty generous, then those numbers would be great, but I would have spent over $300,000 to grow my email list to the size that it is today. And I don't know about you, but I don't always have that much money around to invest in growing my list. And even if I do have the money, I'd prefer to keep that money in my pocket or invest it into my business in a way that will grow my business even more. So I'm pleased to say that my cost for growing my list up to 100,000 was a net cost of $0. Now, yes, there were some expenses associated with growing my list, but they were relatively small and they were far more than covered by the sales that I made through the process. So I've effectively spent $0 to grow my list to over nearly 100,000 subscribers. So today, what you're going to learn is, first of all, the best free advertising opportunity that most entrepreneurs ignore. Second, how we grow our list every day by over 100 leads. And third, the simple two-part process that you can follow to use this strategy in your own business. So let me tell you a little story to explain just how powerful this is. This is a tale of three businesses that I have started in the last 12 years or so. So business number one was Northwest School of Music. This was the first real business that I started back in 2006. And I, of course, needed to get customers for this business to turn it into a successful business. So I tried a bunch of different lead generation strategies to get leads, to turn them into customers. I tried billboards, radio ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, flyers, newspaper ads, and a few more. However, there was one thing I didn't try, and that was television ads. I never put an ad on TV. Quite frankly, it was prohibitively expensive. I did not have much of an advertising budget at all, and television ads are very expensive. I also wasn't sure if they would even really work for me because they'd be targeting such a wide swath of viewers and such a wide audience that I didn't know if I would be attracting the right people who would actually want to pay for music lessons. So I wasn't even sure if my investment would pay off. However, I was certainly interested in doing television ads, and that's the first question I have for you today. If you could run a TV ad for free, would you? Right now, just think about that for a moment. If you could put an ad on TV for free, all you need to do is come up with the idea for the ad, but the ad is paid for. Would that be a game changer for your business? And would you figure out some way to get that television ad filmed so that you could have that free TV spot and get some free advertising for your business? Now, it's kind of a trick question because, of course, TV ads are not free. And also, like I said, television ads are questionable in their effectiveness, depending on the type of business you run. If you're selling a product that has mass appeal, like, say, car insurance, almost everyone needs car insurance. And so it totally makes sense for a car insurance company to put their ad on television. However, if you're running a business that, let's say, you're a web designer, not everyone needs a website designed for them. And so it's not going to make that much sense for a web designer to pay for a television ad. So anyway, I just want you to keep that question in the back of your mind. Would you be interested in free television ads? Let's go on to the second business. This was my next great idea. Not quite, right? In fact, I didn't really even intend for it to be a business at all. I decided to start a YouTube channel, and it was mostly just meant to be a hobby. So this is kind of what I thought was going to happen. I thought that I was going to be getting all these views, millions of views, right? And that I was going to make $50,000 in a year. Even though I was just kind of seeing it as a hobby, I was still really hoping that it would become really profitable. But okay, so don't laugh at me because this is a little bit embarrassing, but this is the reality of what my YouTube channel looked like. I had the worst thumbnails. I don't even know what I was thinking, to be quite honest. The worst thumbnails, my video quality was awful, and of course this channel didn't really grow. However, despite that, despite how terrible it was, I did have a little bit of success. You can see this video here. It was called How to Braid Your Own Hair Behind Your Head, Basics. And again, this video, horrible quality, but despite that, it racked up almost 500,000 views. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I was surprised at this. Not so much at first. At first, I was just like, oh yeah, finally, this is working. And then the more views I got, the more surprised I became, because I realized more and more as I got more and more in the spotlight, I realized more and more how terrible the quality of this video was. So you might be thinking right now, you thought YouTube was competitive. So how does this work out? Well, yes, it is competitive. There are 23 million channels on the platform. However, if you compare that to how many, say, blogs there are, you'll find that there are far more blogs. In fact, according to Hosting Tribunal in 2019, so a couple years ago, there are over 500 million blogs. Okay, that is much more than the 23 million YouTube channels. And as you can see, that means that YouTube is much less competitive than perhaps if you tried to start a blog. So just food for thought, right? So as I started to get these views on my channel, quickly my thoughts shifted from asking like, why isn't anyone watching? You know, I'm making these videos every week. Why isn't anyone watching them? To, why is anyone watching? Because as soon as people started watching my videos, I realized just how terrible they were. And I started to get embarrassed that people were watching and wonder why they were even watching. Anyway, we'll come back to that in a minute. Right now, let's move on to talking about business number 3. So business number 3 was a marketing agency called Aptus Creative Marketing. This was several years down the road of my entrepreneurial journey. I'd started quite a few businesses at this point. I had figured out a thing or two about what worked for lead gen strategies. They were working really well in my business, and I wanted to help other small businesses to generate leads for their businesses. So I started this small marketing agency, and of course, I think to myself, what is the best way to generate leads for my new business, my new marketing agency? So you're probably aware with this kind of simple sales funnel structure, you need traffic in the top. That turns into leads, and then those leads can eventually turn into sales. You start with a lot of traffic, it turns into fewer leads, it turns into even fewer sales. So I realized that the question I needed to be asking to start getting those sales, which is ultimately what I wanted, wasn't what was the best way to generate leads, but what was the best way to generate traffic, okay? Because that was where it all started, and that was the thing I was really missing, the first thing I was really missing. So my question changed from what is the best way to generate leads to what is the best way to generate traffic? And that brought to my mind YouTube. Because, see, here's the thing. I had managed to get a whole lot of traffic on that one video alone, almost 500,000 eyeballs, without any fancy marketing strategy, without spending a dime on advertising, and with horrible quality content. And so it occurred to me that maybe if I was a little bit more strategic about it, I could use YouTube and get a whole lot more views and use those views to turn into leads. So that's what I decided to try to do. Get some massive exposure on YouTube for free leads. And really, much better than free, because if you haven't heard, YouTube is a business and they are exchanging money with customers. Their customers are advertisers, and then they pay their creators 50% of that ad revenue. So really, I was going to get paid if I could generate this exposure. Now, you might think that this is all just gonna depend on chance, right? It's a lottery. You make some videos, maybe they take off, maybe they don't. But here's the thing. YouTube is a business, and YouTube has a goal to generate profit. And so do you think that their business model is dependent on luck and chance? No, it is not. They have a very strategic business model that works in a very predictable way. So they have built this machine. It's called the algorithm. And the algorithm is a machine that they have invested literally millions of dollars into perfecting. And the whole purpose of this machine is to match viewers with videos that those viewers want to watch. Now, it runs those videos that get put on the platform through a series of steps. And those steps are designed to, again, figure out who wants to watch them. And what that means is that if you are able to put content on the platform that is content that there is a certain group of people who want to watch, then that algorithm is going to do some heavy lifting for you and find those people for you and give you some traffic, which can turn into leads. Here you see my email list again, and you can see for me it's generated almost 100,000 leads. And in fact, it's generated way more than that, probably about 300,000 leads at this point, because of course, people don't stay on your list forever. So this is just how many leads I have retained, people who are currently on my email list, opening my newsletters and interested in buying my products. Okay, so I'm sure that you're starting to see how this opportunity is shaping up. However, there are probably a few things that right now you're thinking. One of the things that I'm guessing you're thinking is, well, that's great, but it probably won't work for me. You might have some reasons why you think it won't work for you. So up next, we're going to talk about some YouTube myths that might make you miss out on this incredible opportunity for generating leads. And we're also going to go through a really simple two-step process that you can follow to start using this strategy to generate leads in your business. Okay, so 4 YouTube myths. These are things that if you believe them, they will prevent you from using YouTube and getting these leads that you could have for free. The first myth is YouTube is competitive. Napoleon Hill once said, it's never crowded at the top. And what that means is that, well, yes, there are a ton of videos on YouTube, literally hundreds of millions of videos on YouTube. If you make good quality videos that are better than the average, you will suddenly find that there is not that much competition, okay? Especially considering how many people are on YouTube watching. And as I showed you earlier, compared to the number of blogs and websites that are out there, YouTube is not actually very competitive. The second myth that, if you believe it, will prevent you from getting results is that YouTube is difficult. A lot of people think that it is hard to make videos, and it's hard to figure out how YouTube works. But that is simply not the case, at least no more than anything else. The truth is that everything new is difficult. What we're used to doing feels easy to us because we already understand how to do it. But whenever there's something new, we don't yet know how to do it, and so it feels impossible. It feels impossible because we don't know how to do it. And YouTube is the same way. Right now, YouTube might feel difficult. Making videos might feel difficult. But once you learn how, you will find that it is just as easy as anything else. The next myth is YouTube is time consuming. Okay, yes, it is a little bit time consuming, but it's all about comparing the effort or the cost of something to the results. Now, you might say, eating is time consuming. I mean, I have to spend like almost 3 hours every day just filling my belly, right? Okay, well, I could be spending that time doing something else. I could be spending that time working out or making money or spending time with my kids, right? But I get a big benefit from eating that makes it worth the time, right? It makes me feel healthy, it keeps me alive, and it's enjoyable. Well, YouTube and pretty much everything else that you might spend your time on is the same way. It's not about how much time it takes, it's about whether or not that time is worth it. So first of all, I just want you to know that once you get into the routine of YouTube and you learn how to make videos well, it doesn't have to be that time consuming. In fact, I would say I spend less than 15 to 20 hours per month on YouTube, and yet it is the number one thing that fuels my business. It is the number one activity that generates leads and generate sales for my business, meaning it is the number one thing that makes my business earn $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per month. And so for me, it is well worth the time. Another myth that could hold you back is YouTube is expensive. You might think you need a fancy camera and you would need to invest in a whole bunch of gear in order to make good videos and actually compete. Honestly, use your phone. Really, the phones that we have today have the most incredible cameras in them that just a few years ago that today are far better than the cameras we had, the expensive cameras we had just a few years ago. The quality is really not the issue. If you can put together a compelling video idea, then shoot it with your phone and it will work just fine. Also, just get started with what you have, right? Because then you can start seeing this progress, you can start seeing results, you can get into the flow of it and decide whether or not YouTube is for you, and then you can start making some money with it and invest in a camera if you decide you want to. But I promise your phone is more than adequate for getting started. Okay, so another question for you before we go on. Would you find the time, the energy, the resources to make video ads if someone offered your business free advertising on TV? So remember earlier on I asked you, would you want to advertise on TV if you could do so for free? So now I'm wondering, okay, so the ads are free, but would you figure out a way to make it happen? Would you find the time to put together that ad? Would you find the energy and the resources? Would you somehow figure out some way to get a video filmed if someone offered you a free spot on TV to advertise your business? Now, not everyone would say yes. This isn't a question that has an assumed answer of yes. For some people, nope, I've got more than enough leads. Other people, nope, I don't want to advertise my business. Other people, nope, I'm not interested in really investing my time or energy into my business. I don't have a ton of leads, but it's fine just the way it is. There are lots of different situations why you might not want to do this. But for those of you who would want to use your time, use your energy, use your resources to be able to advertise your business to millions of people, keep on listening because we're going to talk about something that works even better than TV. Okay, which is, of course, YouTube. YouTube is more powerful than TV ads. And that's because, as I shared with you earlier, TV ads are completely untargeted. You're just reaching this general swath of viewers, a group of people who may or may not be interested in your product, and especially if you're selling something more niche, something that only appeals to a small group, then you're going to find that on TV, there really is not that many of your viewers who will be watching. YouTube ads, on the other hand, YouTube videos that can advertise your business, they're targeted because the algorithm is working for you. It is hand-picking individuals who want to watch videos just like yours. Also, viewers are choosing to watch your videos. So they are going to be so much more interested in your videos and really choose to watch them and be engaged with them, unlike TV ads where most people just mute them. Also, repetition. If you put an ad on TV, someone might see it once or twice, but on YouTube, if someone watches one of your video, then the algorithm is going to start recommending more and more of your videos to them. They'll watch more and more. They'll really get to know you, fall in love with your brand, and want to work with you. It also creates a lot more trust than a TV ad. I mean, when you see an ad on TV, unless it is a phenomenal ad, most of the time you don't really want to buy the product because you don't know the company. It isn't a recommendation. Think about how different you feel when it's a recommendation from a friend. And that's because you trust your friend's advice. Well, the same thing can happen on YouTube because someone is choosing to watch your videos and they're watching your videos over and over again. They are going to come to trust you and trust your information. And that'll make them much more likely to buy. Also, YouTube videos generate far more leads than TV ads do. Only a tiny, tiny percentage of the people who see a television ad end up becoming a lead of the company who ran the ad. But on YouTube, as we'll see with a case study a little bit later on, you can have a very high percentage of people who watch your videos become your leads. And also the leads that you do get are far more likely to convert into paying customers because of that increased trust that they have in you. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you're seeing the power of YouTube now, how incredible this could be for your business. But as we talked about before, if you don't know how to do something, then it feels impossible. So let's overcome that hurdle and let me show you how to implement this strategy and start using YouTube for your business. So, two-step process, really simple. First step is get views on YouTube. I know, easier said than done, so we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But first step is you need to get the views, and the second step is how do you turn those views into leads and then eventually into sales. Okay, so like I said, obviously the harder part here is getting the views, so we're going to spend a bit more time on this part. The almighty algorithm. It controls everything on YouTube. Like I said, it's an incredibly powerful machine, but there's this myth out there that it's a black box, that you put something into it and you put a video into it, and then maybe you get the result of millions of views, or maybe you get the result of 0 views, but the algorithm is just this mystery and we don't really know how it works. Okay, but here's the reality. The algorithm cares about 2 specific things, and if you can nail these 2 specific things, then your video will perform very well on the platform. The 2 things are click-through ratio and view duration. Okay, these are the commandments that we must follow if we want to be successful on YouTube. Okay, things like tags, likes, comments, external traffic, and metadata, they're things that YouTube gurus love to tell you you need to really pay attention to. You need to pay them tons of money to learn how they work. But the truth is that all of these things don't matter very much at all. In fact, the algorithm only cares about those 2 things, click-through ratio and view duration. So that's what I want to teach you a little bit about how to start working with. Your mission, first of all, is to create videos about things that people are interested in. And second, create interesting videos that keep people's attention. That's how you can fulfill those 2 things. If you make videos about topics people are interested in and you package them effectively, that means you put a title on that people understand and is interesting to people, and you put a thumbnail on it that is attractive, then people will want to click on your video and your click-through ratio will be higher. And then if you make videos that keep people interested and engaged, then people will keep on watching your videos and you will have a high view duration. Now, it is not at all necessary for you to have expensive equipment, advanced SEO knowledge, pro video skills, or for you to be perfectly polished or corporate. In fact, those things can actually be a detractor. You also don't have to be, quote, good on camera or have amazing, beautiful looks or have a professional or beautiful background. All these things can be nice to have. All of them can help. But the things that you really need to care about are, first of all, topics of interest, and second of all, an interesting video, okay? Topic of interest, something people are already interested in, and second of all, videos that keep people's interest. Okay, so now let's talk about the second step, how to turn these views that you'll start getting if you do those 2 things into leads. Okay, so pop quiz here. What do these 3 things have in common? First of all, we've got a billboard, we have television ads, and we have the trending page on YouTube. What do these 3 things have in common? Well, here's the answer. They all have mass exposure. They're all getting viewed by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, which it seems like would be exactly what you want. But here's the thing. You might think, well, I don't know if millions of people would want to watch my video about web design or my video about how to decorate their home, right? Well, here's the really good news. You don't have to have millions of people watch your videos in order to generate hundreds of leads every day for free, because you don't need to land on the trending page on YouTube, because you don't need just leads. You don't need just traffic. You need the right traffic. The traffic that is relevant to your business. The traffic that is people who want to buy the product that you sell. You don't need millions of those people. You just need a few thousand views on your videos, and that can be enough to start generating dozens, if not hundreds of leads for your business. So in order to know how to make an ad, how to make a video that's relevant to your business, you need to know who your target customer is and what you're offering. And then you can come up with a video that will appeal to that person and will be related to the product that you're selling. So that means you need videos that attract your target customer, like beginners tutorials or answers to common questions or solutions to common problems. You also need to demonstrate your expertise in your videos. So you could do that by sharing tutorials or case studies or the behind the scenes of how you run your business or showing your skills in action. And then finally, another example would be videos that move your prospects closer to buying. So this could be videos that educate your viewers, your audience, about the solution. I make a lot of videos like that. videos that educate people and show them how to solve their problems. Also, videos that demonstrate your expertise, as I mentioned before, and videos that demonstrate your products. Now, of course, if you just put a video on YouTube that's just an ad for your product and you just are showing how your product works, then that probably isn't going to perform very well. Not very many people will watch it. But if you are demonstrating your product to show how to solve a problem, then that can change that. Or if the demonstration of the product is included in a larger, interesting video, then that can do it as well. So now that you know how to get the right views, not just mass views, now let's talk about how to turn those views into leads. Here's a spoiler. You already know how to do this. I know you do. If you are listening to this right now, I know you know a thing or two about how to turn traffic into leads. It's pretty simple. First, you're going to create some sort of free opt-in offer. It could be as simple as sign up for a free consultation, but a lot of online businesses like to use a free PDF, a free quiz, a free mini course, a free video training, okay? Something to offer for free that will appeal to the people who might want to become your leads. Again, it could be as simple as a consultation or a discovery call though. Second, you need to create an opt-in page for your free offer. So this is a page on your website that has a form on it that people can fill out to get the free thing or to sign up for the consultation or for more information. Third, you need to connect your opt-in form to your email marketing software. You've put this form on your website, but it needs to talk to your email marketing software so that when someone signs up for the form, they get added to your email list. And then all you need to do is promote that free offer and you will automatically generate leads. So what you're going to do is you're going to promote your free offer on YouTube. So what is it? Okay. Now the best option for what to promote on YouTube is called content upgrades in your videos. Okay. So what exactly does that mean? Well, let's say you're making an educational video where you're teaching people how to decorate their living room. Okay, because maybe you are an interior decorator or maybe you sell a course about decorating. So you make a video where you teach people how to decorate their living room on a budget, let's say. So then we need a content upgrade that we can offer to get people to sign up for our email list and to learn more. So again, you could keep it as simple as sign up to learn more about how you can work with me. But it's going to work better if you do something along the lines of sign up to get a free checklist for the steps for decorating your living room, or sign up for a free email that I'll send you that includes links to my favorite places to shop for budget-friendly decor. So I think that gives you a couple examples, but how can you give people more than you gave them in the video? How can you hand them something that will really help them implement what they are learning, or will just be a bit of a bonus? That is what will perform the very best. Where can you promote those with your YouTube videos? Well, there are a bunch of places on YouTube. You can promote it in your description, as you see here on this slide. You can put links to your content upgrades in the description. You can also put them in the comments, and then you can pin the comment under your videos. This is a really valuable piece of real estate on the internet that every YouTube creator controls. When you make a video, you get to decide what the top comment under your video says. And so you can use that to promote your paid products, or generally what works better is to promote your free opt-in. And then you also can promote these things on your channel homepage. There's a setting there where you can add a link to your channel homepage. And you can also share posts in the YouTube community promoting your free opt-ins. It's not just about the fact that you can get a ton of exposure to the right people. It's also about the fact that these people are going to convert at really high conversion rates. Let me give you a little example. Here's a case study. So this is a video that I made about 6 months ago, and it is about how to write a business plan. Now, this video, as you can see, has over 100,000 views. You can also see that I'm promoting in it a free template. Now, this is key because by promoting the free template on the thumbnail, it has not only increased my click-through ratio, making this video get more views and making it rank better, but it also means people have walked into this video with the expectation that there is something free that they want to download. And so it really increased my conversion rate here. In fact, this video had a 12.8% opt-in rate. That means that out of every 10 people who watched the video, one of them signed up for my email list. More than that, in fact, right? So the 100,000 people who watched my video, that means that more than 12,000 people have signed up for my email list because of this one video. That is insane, right? Okay, I made one video. It took me a couple hours to make. It generated 12,000, probably more like 13, 14,000 leads. These are people who went on to buy my products, many of them. So I want to give you 3 tips right now to supercharge those conversion rates. First one, tease your freebie in your thumbnail, just like I was just saying. Second, mention your resource near the beginning of the video and explain it at the end. Okay, so let me break this down a little bit. You've got this free opt-in offer, this freebie that you are going to promote in your video. Well, when should you do it? At the beginning of your video, just mention it. By the way, I've got a free template that you can download. More on that in the end, okay? That means that people won't accidentally miss it, because a lot of people stop watching videos a little bit before the end or even halfway through. So you need to let them know there is this free offer that you have. Then later on at the end of the video, you need to explain what it is and why they want to download it and how to get it. You don't want to put that information early on in the video because it will slow down your intro and can potentially make people click away who aren't interested in the freebie, but you need to make sure you explain it later on. Okay, and then finally, this is a big tip. Use your free resource in your video. If at all possible, actually show the resource in your video and use it as part of the tutorial. That will make people far more interested in downloading it for themselves. One thing I want you to make sure you understand from this workshop is that YouTube viewers are not just viewers. They are subscribers and they are buyers, far more than people who are just scrolling on Instagram or scrolling on Facebook or watching TV. People who watch YouTube, they are much more invested, much more engaged, and much more likely to buy your products. Let me give you a little example of how powerful YouTube can be. So 3 years ago, I started a membership program. This was about 1 year into my journey on YouTube. And I, of course, was going to tell my YouTube subscribers and my email list that had mostly all come from YouTube about this new program. So I launched it 14 months after starting my channel. At that point in time, I had just under 100,000 subscribers. And when I launched it, 300 people immediately joined the program, and that created $10,000 of recurring monthly revenue. Okay, this was the first product I really launched after starting my YouTube channel. I'd only been on YouTube for a year, and yet it was able to immediately launch a product that turned into $10,000 of recurring revenue every single month. Okay, so over the course of the next year, I earned over $100,000 from this program, from this one launch that I did where I sold 300 units, all because of the power of YouTube. And if that does not speak to YouTube viewers being subscribers and being buyers, I don't know what does. So here are a few important takeaways and things I hope you remember from today's workshop. The first one, YouTube is an amazing opportunity for generating traffic, leads, and sales. Second, all you need in order to make this work is views and a process for turning those views into leads. Third, it is never crowded at the top. YouTube really is not as competitive as you think. Yes, there are a lot of people there. Yes, there are a lot of videos there. But if you make good quality content, if you know what your audience wants and you're able to make videos that fulfill that, then you absolutely can take advantage of this opportunity and tap into the power of YouTube. And finally, YouTube viewers are not just viewers, they're subscribers and they are buyers. All right, so that brings us to the end of today's workshop. Thank you so much for sticking with me today. I hope that you've learned a lot. I hope you see how incredible the power of YouTube is. And now, if you are thinking right now that you are interested in taking the next step and trying this out for yourself, of course, the first challenge is figuring out how to start a channel that will start quickly growing, how to get those first views and the first subscribers. Specifically, a lot of new YouTubers have one goal in mind, and that is to get 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible so that they can get their channel monetized and they can start earning money on YouTube, and also they can get over that 1,000 subscriber hump so that their channel starts growing even faster because they have more social proof on their channel. So I put together a second workshop all about exactly how to do that. It's called 3 Secrets to Reach 1,000 Subscribers and Get Monetized in Just 3 months. Okay, I don't want you to spend the next year trying to get your first 1,000. I want you to have 1,000 subscribers 3 months from now so that you can start making money as a creator and start having these leads coming into your business. So if you want to get access to that workshop, just head to my website, gillianperkins.com/1000 for 1,000 subscribers. Again, that's gillianperkins.com/1000, just the number 1000, 1000, and you'll get access to that free workshop. I know you'll find it really valuable if you are ready to take your business to the next level with YouTube. I can't tell you how powerful YouTube has been for my business. It has really been my secret sauce, the number one thing that took me from a business that no one had ever heard about to an audience of hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube and on my email list and on Instagram, and a business that generates $500,000 every single year. So thanks so much for sticking with me. I hope you found this helpful, and I hope we get the chance to connect again in the future. Here's to your success.